What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Mission Movie Review. I'm Barry Gaines.
Your man, Jay Green.
And today we're going to review the movie Hail Mary. But before we do, we just want to give a big shout out to you, everyone out there who joined us and chimed in with us and been discussing movies with us. We really appreciate this. So thank you very much. Keep it going. And please just spread the word for us so we can grow this channel strong and keep moving forward. Also, I just want to remind you guys of other ventures that Justin and I are associated with. First of all, Justin has another YouTube channel called Green Screen. Just look up Justin Green 83, where he reviews movies that we just don't have a time or have a chance to review on this channel. I myself have two companies. One is Gaines Comedy Incorporated, where we showcase, educate, and produce the work of aspiring filmmakers in underserved communities and beyond, whose content lies within the action, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror genre. Also, I have Gaines Entertainment, where I'm a video marketer as well as a video production consultant. So reach out if you need any help with any of this. Check out Justin's page for other movies and his reviews. So we really appreciate all the support that we get from you guys. Really appreciate that. So now let's move forward to the review of Hail Mary.
This is Project Hail Mary.
I'm gonna call you Rocky. Thumbs up. Nope, that's thumbs down.
Now, Hail Mary is Ryan Gosling's new film, where he is a scientist named, what's his name again? Ryland Grace, right? He finds himself on the ship. He has no idea why he's on the ship. Well, over time, he kind of figures it out, what's going on, what his mission is. But as he does, he comes across a spacecraft and has this little creature on there that's made of stone. Well, he befriends this creature, and he just names him Rocky, as you see in the trailer. So this is a non-spoiler review, so you've seen this already on the trailer. And I saw it in IMAX, loved it, got to see it in the cinema. This is a movie you must see in the cinema. It's beautifully filmed. So anyway, I enjoyed it. But Justin, what do you think about the film, bro?
So I said in my review, it was interesting. Now I would add the disclaimer that, remember, I'm a father. I got like a 3-year-old at the house. My wife and I just had twins in December. So I'm seeing these movies after a full day of working with clients and all that. So it is possible. It is possible that my brain is sitting in a type of position where even though something should like blow me away, I'm like, it was pretty good. Now, I say that, I say that to say that I was so looking forward to this movie because of everything that I heard about it. Didn't really know much about the actual film itself, but just hearing people say how great it is. I love Ryan Gosling. I love Chris Miller or Lord and Miller, right? And their directing style and all what they do. The idea and the premise of the film was definitely like right up my alley, right? So I'm like super high anticipation level for this film. Now, as I'm watching it, I'm like, man, I really enjoy everything that I'm seeing. But the only caveat is, for some reason, I just felt like not as emotionally drawn in or connected with some of those moments and those beats that should have like knocked me back a bit, right? So I do think that the look of the film, beautiful, gorgeous. Cinematography is on point. I feel that this movie, in regards to some of the more recent sci-fi type stuff we've gotten, like your Interstellars, your Dunes, your Martians, right, from Ridley Scott, it has that look, that real, that tangible authenticity to it. So I love that. All the acting from top to bottom is stellar, right? Sandra Hüller, I think, is a unsung hero of this film. Without her kind of playing the opposite to Ryan Gosling's kind of a little quirky but serious and knowledgeable type character, it doesn't really, you don't really get all of that. The way that the movie goes is non-linear. For me, I kind of found myself more engaged in the flashback portions of the story, finding out how he got onto the ship, why they chose him, where his mentality was at, what were his capabilities, what were his knowledge points that made him the one that they wanted to risk everything on, right? I was kind of more engaged with that portion of the story than I was actually in the space adventure. And it might just be because, in a way, I kind of felt like I knew where it was going to go. Not that that took me out of the film. It didn't, right? But I just felt like, okay, I kind of feel like this is the moment where we have that awkward meetup, that meet cute moment, right? With him and the alien. We have the moment where he's gonna, figure out how to speak to this guy. And we saw those things in the trailer. So, take that with a grain of salt. But I thought that the story overall was still entertaining. It gave me a lot of what I really wanted over here, which was the flashbacks, and then some of what maybe wasn't as engaging in the actual moment at hand and the mission at hand, but it was still super dope and very thrilling throughout. It's just like emotionally, I wasn't as drawn into the moments where maybe you would cry or get choked up, let's just say. Right?
Gotcha.
The ending, however, I thought was beautiful. I thought the ending was dope, and the ending left me with a lot of hope, which I like, right? So I thought that was But yeah, overall, I think that this is a movie that, for me, I really enjoyed walking out. I just felt, for some reason, not as emotionally drawn in during the film, but looking forward to purchasing it on Blu-ray or 4K and letting it sit and grow with me over the years as I watch it more and more and more. And I still would put it up there in the upper echelons of sci-fi fantasy, sci-fi mission type movies, because I think that it grounds itself with a science that I really like. I really like when a movie can ground itself in a real scientific type of reality and then give us some fun and some adventure. And it does all those things. So again, for me, I felt the way I felt, but I'm just one guy. I do think this is a movie that will probably be for the family, because it's not so dramatic and detrimental that you can't bring the kids to it. But it's fun enough for a little bit of everyone. You got the adult swag, you got the kid swag. Rocky's adorable and cute and fun. You know what I'm saying? You got some great moments with him. So yeah, I think through and through, it's a really, really good movie, and I can't wait for it to grow with me over time.
I agree. It's funny you say that because it does have beats where I felt that it didn't land, but to me it was more of a surprise. So just to give people a little bit of a background for me and Ryan Gosling fandom is that I was never really a big fan of Ryan. I like Ryan. I'm quite sure I could have a beer with him and all that. You know what I mean? I may get some hate on this, but it just wasn't for me. He was never, he was really never for me. It looked like all the movies that he was in, it was more like him trying to be cool, but he's not really cool. He looks nice and everything, but he's not cool. But this here to me was a movie that really hit who he really is. He's just a regular guy who wants to go through life like all of us. And I think those movies those characters that he portrayed with those beats work with him best. And I think this is why this movie to me really kind of pulled me in with him. Now, I went into the movie not expecting much. So I guess opposite of you, Justin, you was looking for it. You was like, yo, I got to see this bad boy. For me, I wasn't thinking much of it. So maybe when I went into it, it hit me harder because I was like, hey, this is pretty good. I wasn't expecting all that much because listen, I've seen Martian. We've seen E.T. There's a little hint there. It's a little mixture of both. So, I'm like, okay, I kind of see this. And I want to see how they're going to tell this story. And just to piggyback on you about Sandra Hüller, she to me was the movie. Yes, Ryan was a star, right? Did a really good job. The puppetry and everything with Rocky was adorable. It was fun. I really liked the character. I really did. I feel they did a really good job with the character. But Sandra Hüller was that character, that general. I don't know if she was a general or commander or something.
She's like at least the lead scientist in charge of the whole mission.
Was she? Yeah, it never really explained. Yeah. So, but you just know that she was in charge and she wasn't taking no shit from anybody. You know what I mean? She was going in there with the hammer and whatnot. Say, yo, this is what we got to do. If you don't like it, that's a you problem. We're going to do what we have to do because we got to do this, and we're going to tell you why he's on the mission. We don't want to spoil that, but shit had to get done, and she was the hammer. And I think that really made the movie move forward. And then Justin was saying about the flashbacks. I was really engaged with those flashbacks too. But what made me feel with this movie too was that the flashbacks and the current storyline to me meshed really, really well. Like I said, I didn't expect too much, so it really hit me hard. And I was like, well, this is really a smooth movie. And for me, there are only a handful of films, I can tell you right now in my life, handful of films that when I left, everything felt like silk. It was just smooth. It just went through and ended nicely. Not saying that those that don't are not good movies, because they present themselves a certain way and you got to feel a certain way. But this one to me was very smooth. And just like Justin mentioned, yeah, the family can go here. There's nothing here that that's going to make you feel embarrassed, or you have to tell the kids to look away. All of this was really, really good. It had adult parts, kids parts, mostly adult parts. But all in all, I think it went really, really smooth storyline wise, and the characters were developed pretty good. Maybe there's one or two things in the movies that I wasn't sure what was going on, like just kind of threw me like, what? But otherwise, a movie's not 100%, obviously, But all in all, I just to kind of give you a big 40,000 foot view of what we felt about the film. Yes, I enjoyed it. If you're going to see it, you want to check it out, see what you think about it, please go to a cinema and think about it. And as Justin was saying, he was probably a little tired. I'm not saying Justin's wrong. It is what it is. I liked it more than Justin did. Justin was like, listen, things were happening. And I saw it. I was just like, okay, this wasn't hitting for me on these parts anyway. Although the movie right now, I feel if it was Oscar time right now, it'd definitely be nominated for Best Picture of the Year. I think right now, this is the movie beginning of the year. This year, this movie definitely is going to be in the Oscars for Best Movie of the Year. However it goes, who knows? But right now, I guarantee it's going to be on the top 10. Of that selection.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. There's, again, like I say, there's nothing that I can point to specifically that I could say that the movie did this wrong or didn't do this necessarily well enough. The more I think about it, I saw it on Thursday night, and here we are on Sunday. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, man, I'm down to watch that again. So it's a phenomenal movie. I like what you said about Ryan Gosling. That's true. I love everything that this guy does. He can do no wrong in my eyes. I've been a huge fan of his all the way from when I remember seeing him first in Remember the Titans. Okay.
Yes, that's why. Yes,
so,
yes.
Yeah. So that's for me though. But I do feel that out of all of the films that he's been in, this does feel like a movie where we're just kind of hanging out with Ryan Gosling, or what we would imagine maybe he would actually be like, his swag.
I agree, bro. Yeah.
And it's fun seeing him, if he's doing what he's doing with Rocky, I could just watch that by itself. If we're getting the story in a linear fashion, from the flashbacks, I can watch that by itself. So again, I like the movie. The more I think about it, I'm ready to watch it again. You know what I'm saying? And I think that a film that looks like this from Lord and Miller, like Spider-Man, the 21, 22 Jump Streets and all that sort of stuff. I said in my review that they got Solo, the Han story, taken away from him. Because maybe it's going to be a bit too jokey or something like that. So these guys are a duo to watch. You know what I'm saying? And so you want to go support this movie for, one, it's a great movie. Two, it's Ryan Gosling. And then three, Lord and Miller. Give them the respect, give them the love. Because they're coming hot off the heels of Spider-Man and trying to redeem themselves from the mishaps of Solo or whatever like that. You feel me? So it's definitely a fun time in the theater for sure. Yeah.
No, you're right about Lord and Miller, because, they did have a lot of they got a lot of comedic things in their past, that they dealt with and everything. And what I loved about this is that they didn't put a lot in that. You had a moment, and everything that they want you to smile or feel cute about was appropriate, and it wasn't overdone. They wasn't trying to pull it out of you. It was just there. And I think the balance of that was really well done in this storytelling. And also too, if people don't know, this is the same writer, because this is it's adaptive screen. Well, it's taken from a book.
Same writer as The Martian.
Right, as The Martian. So there you go. The Martian, you got this. So if you like The Martian, you're more than likely going to probably like this movie as well. Same writer, same kind of feel. Just, had some added things to it, of course, with the alien and all that. But otherwise, to me, I think it was really, really good, just because maybe I didn't expect too much from it, and I was very surprised.
I can't think of the name of the movie off the top of my head right now. But it's funny how you had Ryan Reynolds playing Deadpool and then Green Lantern, and scrap all that nonsense. He comes in and plays the new, Deadpool from X-Men Origins, right? And then Green Lantern. And then scrap all that. He does Deadpool, blows the doors off the hinges with his version of Deadpool, right? Ryan Gosling played an astronaut in, I think, who made the movie? I can't remember who made it.
Did he?
But it might have been the same dude that did La La Land. I can't remember. But anyways, he played an astronaut in a movie that was extreme. It was a good, great acting for sure, but a boring ass movie, right? And then now he comes back around with another astronaut movie where he's rolling solo, and it's great. So I think you're gonna get stars every now and then that like do one thing. All right, let it sit for a couple of years, and then let me try it again. All right, cool, I got it this time. And
exactly. I think it's more.
That's what we got with Ryan Gosling, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I think it's an ego thing, yo. You know what I'm saying? If you know you like something, like yo, no one liked it, yo, I'm gonna do this again. I think that's what it was. Yeah. Like, you want to do this again, yo? Let's try this one more time, yo. And this time I want it all me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
exactly. It was like 80% Ryan Gosling. I mean, I don't think he was never in a frame in this movie. So I got to give him, he held his own in his entire film.
Also, I want to give props to, I'm an 80s baby, so I'm always going to get down with animatronics and puppetry. And so Rocky is like, this not just CGI. Like, this is a real dude working that puppet, doing the sounds and the voice and all that sort of stuff. And I give mad love to that because, again, the complexities that go into filming a puppet and where's the camera going to be, how are we not going to see the guy running it, is it going to work? You know what I'm saying? All that stuff makes it a little bit more complex than just throwing CGI at it. Plus, it also shows to me a commitment to the filmmaker to make something feel real. And I'm always going to love that. Might not always work, but I'm always going to love the intent. And I thought that they killed it with this.
They did. Everything pretty much was practical in this, except for the obvious things like space and all that. But you're right. Everything interior wise was all pretty much practical from what I see from the BTS. And I really appreciate that. I love the fact that filmmakers today out there still hold that reverence of practical filmmaking, of having things there that not only the audience can see that is real, but also for the actors to react to what's real. It gives you a better performance. It gives you a better sync of what's happening. And there's nothing could ever replace that. And CGI can't. And I could tell you a story later on about, how I think it was Ian McKellen went crazy on, what was the movie, The Hobbit. And that's a whole nother thing. And just if anyone knows that story, go look it up. Just look up Ian McKellen, Hobbit, green screen, crying. Okay. And I can see, you know what I'm saying? So you could see how much it really matters to actors that you have something there you can actually touch and feel and look at and kind of, just respond to. And you know what? That affects us as viewers. And I love movies like this because you can tell, oh, that's real, And when he's floating around, obviously his wires, we all know that, but they did it really well. Like today's wire act, man, it's on point, man. I got to give it to it.
It's very smooth.
It is. And as a viewer, you don't pay much mind, but guys out there, when you look at the wire work on this, when he's moving everything, it looks really authentic. We're not astronauts, but we've seen enough on TV to know the look and feel, and it just looks really good. So anyway, all in all, man, Hail Mary was a good ride for me, and we'd like to hear what you think about it. When you go and see it in a cinema, please support the cinema, support the artists, support this art form, and you know what? It's going to be nothing like it when you see it in there. It's really nice. It's really good to look at. So I hope you guys check it out. So. Today, this is the end of Hail Mary review, okay? So let us know what you think, guys, and we'll see you in our next review next week, all right? All right, peace.